Allow me to rewind a little bit. I was at verse 7 of Hebrews chapter 11. Go back to verse 6. And without faith, it is impossible to please God. Now, that sounds beautiful, right? Faith without faith, but it's obviously talking about doctrine. Choris, but apart, without. Pisteos. This is choris plus the genitive of pistis, apart or without doctrine. Adunaton, impossible. Euaresteisai, to please him. So without doctrine, you cannot please God. Without the breathing in of Bible doctrine, you cannot please God. After all, you have to have certain doctrines about God so that you can approach Him, as we're going to see right now. It's going to explain right here, God, explanatory God. 4. And then we have that impersonal verb of they. It is necessary. We're going to go very like that, very literal. It is necessary. And then we have an articular participle about the one who approaches. Don proserchomenon. It is necessary that the one who draws near, or the one who approaches, this is a present tense and is a progressive present. You constantly draw near to God because you approach Him, you want to have a relationship with God. And so it is necessary that the one who draws near or approaches God, Tooteo, this is the dative of advantage here. It is necessary for the one that approaches God to believe. It is necessary for him to believe. This is pisteusai. And so this is the active sense of pisteuo. You have to believe something about God in order for you to approach Him on a daily basis. But you cannot believe these things unless you have doctrine. Pisteos. Because it is necessary that the one who approaches or draws near to God, it is necessary for him to believe that, and then we have the present active indicative, that he is. This is something about his essence. The present tense is a static present, talking about his essence. He is, and he always will be. The active voice, God produces the action of a verb, of being his essence, of being righteousness, justice, eternal life, etc. Indicative mood, this is for the reality of the essence of God, the dogmatic doctrine of the essence of God. So he must believe that he is, that God is, and that he becomes. Ginetai. The difference between estin and ginomai is that estin is a status quo of being, while ginomai is to become something that you are not. And so that he becomes tois, to those who seek him. So he becomes to those who begin seeking him. Who are those who begin seeking him? Those who advance in the plan of God. To seek. That he becomes dative of advantage to those who seek him. Present tense. This is also progressive present for those who constantly seek him. And then we have the active voice. The believers who have positive volition produce the action of the verb. And the participle is articular. Those who seek him. This is in the dative case, so it's the dative of advantage. So he must believe, the one who approaches God, must believe that he is and that he becomes to the benefit of those who seek him. We have the accusative direct object, auton, of the intensive pronoun autos, God. He becomes to the benefit of those who seek him. What does he become? He becomes mistapolotes, and this is the genitive that goes that he becomes the rewarder, sorry. And so, this is the personal sense of destiny. You have to have doctrine to understand that first Allah knows something about him, and that he becomes the rewarder about the things not seen. You have to be able to see him. You have to have doctrine. You breathe in that doctrine, and with the result that you're able to see the one who is not seen. And then he gave you the tameible pomena, because he is the rewarder, as we saw right here. And it's impossible for you to please God and to become well-pleasing to him if you do not have any Bible doctrine inside of your soul. Now we can continue with the next of these super grace heroes of the Old Testament. By means of doctrine, Abraham, when he called to go to a place he would later receive as his inheritance, obeyed and went, even though he did not know where he was going. Focusing on the things not seen. By means of doctrine, he made his home in the promised land like a stranger in a foreign country. He lived in tents, as did Isaac and Jacob, who were the heirs with him of the same promise, the promise of the city, them being in a resurrection body, having a city as the reward. Focusing on the things not seen. By means of doctrine, they were able to focus on the thing, not focus on the things seen, but apoblepo on the things not seen. For he was looking forward to the city with foundations, whose architect and builder is God. And by means of doctrine, even Sarah, she was barren, by the way, she was the one who had Isaac. By means of doctrine, even Sarah, who was past childbearing age, was enabled to bear children because she considered him faithful who had made the promise. She had enough doctrine to consider him pistos. She was able to see the one who was not seen, the invisible one. And so from this one man, and he as good as dead, came descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and as countless as the sand of the seashore. The things seen were the problem, the fact that they were barren. Sarah was 90 years old, Abraham was 99 years old, they were both barren. And so the things seen was the problem, but they were able to focus on the things not seen, the promise of them having Isaac, because they were able to horao the ahorratos by means of doctrine. Personal sense of destiny here in your face. All verse 13, all these people were still living by means of doctrine when they died. They did not receive the things promised. They only saw them and welcomed them from a distance, admitting that they were foreigners and strangers on the earth. So what does that mean? They were focusing on the things not seen. Hope 3, the resurrection body and the wonderful blessings that were coming on them, the rewards, the city of God. Boom. They were able to see the things not seen, and they did not receive them. You as well, you're going to be able to, if you keep advancing in the plan of God, you're going to focus on Hope 3, super grace blessings, and you're going to die without receiving them, but eventually you're going to see them at the judgment seat of Christ. Now let us jump forward, because I know we're running out of time. Let us jump forward to Joseph. Keep in mind that they had a resurrection. Our passage in 2 Corinthians chapter 5 talks about the resurrection. Paul is saying, I want the things not seen, I want the things of the resurrection body. I want all those super grace blessings in a resurrection body. And this is a personal sense of destiny. Here, all these believers of Hebrews chapter 11 also had the resurrected body in mind, and the blessings with it. Let's continue now. Here, no, not Jacob. By means of doctrine, Joseph. By means of doctrine. Verse 22. Piste again, by means of doctrine, Joseph, when his end was near, spoke about the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt, and gave instructions concerning the burial of his bones. Now, what does this burials of his bone have to do anything? Why is he emphasizing the human body? They're just bones after all. Why did he give a mandate for him? He said, okay, you guys are going to leave. You better take my bones with you and bury them in the promised land. Why? If the body is useless, it's just a tent and is going to be demolished. Well, his body was demolished. The bones. Because he knew that there was some things that were not seen related to the resurrection body. He wanted to be resurrected with his ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, with his grandparents, in the same tomb. Wherever your body is, that's where you're going to be resurrected. If your body was completely destroyed by a grenade or something, or a nuclear bomb, well, you're going to be resurrected wherever you died. And so let us go over this one really quick. So here, he knew a promise. He had obviously had a personal sense of destiny by means of doctrine. Peace stay. By means of doctrine. Peace stay. He had a personal sense of destiny. He had doctrines. So, what do we have? In Genesis chapter 50, verse 24, we see here. Then Joseph said to his brothers, I am about to die. But God will surely come to your aid and take you up out of this land to the land he promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Joseph made the Israelites swear an oath and said, God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up from this place. So he was dying, and he knew, he said, take my bones and take him there to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So this is a personal sense of destiny. He did not see the promise. He only knew that they were going to go into slavery, but eventually they were going to be taken out to the promised land. And he said, take my bones to them, because he also had not only the things not seen in time, which is the promised land, but he also knew about the things not seen in eternity, the resurrected body. So Joseph died at the age, okay? So he had in mind, very much in mind, all these promises that were given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is him, God telling Abraham. Then the Lord said to him, know for certain that for 400 years your descendants will be strangers in a country not their own, and that they will be enslaved and mistreated there. But I will punish the nation they serve as slaves, and afterwards they will come out with great possessions, all the gold that they came out from Egypt. You, however, will go to your ancestors in peace and be buried at a good old age. In the fourth generation, a generation at that time was 100 years, your descendants will come back here, for the sin of the Amorites has not yet reached its full measure. So this is the promise given to Abraham. It was also, again, here it is. The Lord said to Abraham, after Lot had parted him, look around from where you are, the north and the south, to east and west. All the land that you see I will give you to your offspring forever. I will make your offspring, so this is forever, okay? This is talking about the millennium and beyond. He knew that they were going to be in a resurrected body, living in the promised land forever. This is not only the Abrahamic covenant, these covenants that have not been fulfilled, but also the real estate covenant, the Palestinian covenant, meaning that they're going to have real estate for the Jews forever and ever. I will make your offspring like the dust of the earth. This is the Abrahamic covenant, so that anyone could count the dust, then your offspring could be counted. And then this promise, the same, the Abrahamic covenant and the Palestinian covenant, covenants that have not been fulfilled, was repeated to Isaac. Stay in this land for a while, and you will be with you, and I will bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and I will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. He's talking to Isaac at this moment, God is. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the skies. This is the Abrahamic covenant. I will give them all these lands, Palestinian covenant. And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed, because Abraham obeyed me and did everything I required him, keeping my commands, my decrees, and my instructions. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. Personal sense of destiny. He believed this. He believed the things not seen. And promise was reiterated too. Okay. I do not have the one for Jacob. I thought I had it right here. Okay, so by the time they were about to leave, finally, when they were about to leave Egypt after the 400 years, Moses, what did he do? He believed as well. In other words, he believed a promise. He had a personal sense of destiny. What did he do? Moses took the bones of Joseph. So the bones of Joseph was in a sarcophagus in the middle, like a little plaza, in the middle of the slave camp of the Israelites in Egypt. Moses took the bones of Joseph with him because Joseph had made the Israelites swear on oath. He had said, God will surely come to your aid, and then you must carry my bones up with you from this place. After leaving Sukkot, they camped at Etham at the edge of the desert. Okay, so he took the bones. Let me continue the next video.